Welcome to the third edition of the Indian Hill School District's Technology Update. I'm Robert Reed, Technology Facilitator for the Indian Hill Middle and High Schools, and your host for today's presentation. Our focus for this session is on a topic that is changing the way we communicate and search for information, the Internet and World Wide Web. We have with us today Mr. Mark Richardson, Technology Facilitator for the Indian Hill Elementary School and Internet Coordinator for the school district. He is leading the way in our school district's effort to provide Internet access for student instruction and interaction. Mark, welcome to our show. You've been leading the way in our school district's efforts to use the Internet and World Wide Web for instruction and communication. Please give us a little background on how we've accomplished this.
Sure, Bob. Well, about 3 years ago, we had a technology plan that was put together by parents, community members, students, and teachers, and part of that plan called for the Internet. The year after that, we were wired, but if people know a little bit about the history of the Internet, our first connection was a text-only connection, which was, to say the least, dull for most people except for those that are really into computers. Over the year after that, we were able to get what is called a graphical connection, which is basically pictures and text and sounds and video, whatever you want to do. This summer, we have been able to get a new connection through the state of Ohio, which now allows us to have 250 simultaneous connections. That means that we can wire every classroom, every library, and every lab in each one of the buildings.
Now, of course, an individual at home has a much simpler way of connecting to the Internet and World Wide Web. Could you explain what components are necessary for an individual to do this?
Sure. There are three basic components needed to get started with the Internet. The first and the obvious is a computer. The type of computer, preferably a Pentium-based machine or a Power Macintosh if you work in that platform. The second component that you need is a modem. Modems are rated by a number. That number indicates the amount of information that it can process. The higher the number, the better the Internet connection you'll be able to get. Current standard modem is 28.8 modem. You can even buy new modems which are 33.6. In the future, they're going to look at other ways to get these modems faster because the phone lines are maxed out. Warner in some of their cities have what are called cable modems, and these are 10 or 15 times faster than typical phone lines. Beyond the modem and the computer, you also need an Internet service provider. An Internet service provider is how you get the information to your computer. The phone line is just for the transport. Very similar to a cable company, you pay for their programming. An Internet service provider, you pay for the connection.
Okay, Mark. Now, for those people in our district who want to learn a little bit more about the Internet, we're offering 2 Internet courses in the upcoming months. And since you'll be instructing those courses, could you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, sure. I'd like to use the Internet to show you a little bit about these courses because we actually have a Cyber Studio web page on the Internet, and that is at the Indian Hill Exempted Village District web page. If we can take a look at that right now. If we scroll up, web pages, just so you understand, aren't necessarily displayed by just one screen. So sometimes you need to scroll down to get to the information. The district web page has a variety of information, and if you scroll down far enough, we actually have the Cyber Studio schedule online. Gives you information about upcoming classes, not just my Internet class, but other classes as well. You can see that February 3rd, the week of the 3rd through the 6th, we have Internet Basics. Internet Basics is for the beginning Internet user, someone who has heard about the Internet and would like to get some experience, how to get on, learn a little bit about how to use a browser, finding information. The next class, which you can see, is Internet Beyond the Basics. That runs the week of April 7th through April 10th. That is for the more advanced user. That is for someone who's been on and says, now what can I do? We will cover search engines. That'll be our main emphasis, and then we'll also talk about different things that you can do with Netscape, which is our browser of choice. And when I say browser, I mean the software that allows you and your computer to interact with the World Wide Web. One thing that I'd like to show you on the web page that's also available, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's information about how to register. It gives a phone number and a link which actually connects into Arlene Legal, one of our technology facilitators, right into her mailbox, so you don't even have to call. If you're already set up with the internet or email, you can register right online for these classes.
Oh, thank you. Now, offering these internet classes to our community is just one benefit of our internet connection. Part of our initial internet plan also included the sharing of school-related information with parents, students, teachers, and other school community members. Could you show us some examples of this?
Sure. If we go back to the monitor and we go back to the district page here, we have links for all 4 of our schools. And if I were to bring one up just as an example, let's go to the elementary school. We have information, the phone number, the fax number. The school office has the district calendar, so if you want to check on upcoming events. We will have in the near future more information about the curriculum, and you can also get information about the staff at our building, as well as directly link into the email of the staff of our building. If we go back to the district page, we also have links to the other schools, which all have their sets of information, as well as the Indian Hill High School Alumni Association, which is growing very fast, and you can actually register for that online as well.
Now, this new medium certainly has potential for improving communication between home and school, but there's more than what we've seen so far, obviously. Now, I know that our schools each have the home page. You just showed us an inkling of that. Maybe you could show us a little bit more in terms of what's available on some of those specific sites.
Sure. One thing that we want to do, we wanted to use the internet as a way to communicate with the community, parents, students, teachers. We also want to use it as a way, since we're in the business of education, to educate our students. So we've also used this connection to involve our students in different internet projects, and I'd like to show a few of those to you. If we go back to the primary school page, Marion Herman, who is our district technology, our primary school technology facilitator, has been doing a lot with the students that she works with and her teachers as well. Julie Miller and her are creating a Kids Peace Museum in which teachers from other schools around the world can learn about peace and also submit information, their own feelings about peace. It's hoped that other schools will be able to connect to this site and learn about peace, as well as add their own information. In our school, although I don't have anything to show for it, Ellen Knuckles and I, a 3rd grade teacher, are working on building a virtual zoo, which will be online. The internet is a wonderful place to publish information. We've learned from our research of the writing process that publication is an important part in the student learning process, and we need to have an authentic audience. The internet gives you a world audience, so that how motivating is that for a student to know that potentially the world could view their information. Something else that I'd like to show you in terms of what we're doing, besides these projects with the older students, we have a lot of internet research that's going on. And on the elementary page, if we go to the Media Center page, we have an online library in which people can get in and do some internet searching. We have links to the various search engines and a little bit of information about the different search engines. There are both search engines and search directories. Directories are like an index to a book. Search engines are actually searching the internet for usages of certain words that you're looking for. And we have a lot of different sites that people can use. Rather than having to find the individual sites, they can go right to our page and have links to many of them. Something else that we're doing at this page, as projects are developed and teachers are doing units, we're putting up pages of resources for them so that the students don't have to find or spend hours and hours sifting through this information. The internet's new, and finding the information on the internet is kind of the needle in the haystack. And until that time, we feel that we need to help the students get in touch with the best resources. It's not the finding that's the important, it's the interacting with the information. So we have put together several different social studies pages for our ongoing social studies projects. We call the page Social Studies Resources, and we have currently going on a 5th grade President's Research Project, and 3rd grade is starting a Native Americans project. If I were to go to the President's Biography Project, and a student could do this at home, they could link to sites that I have found on the internet or read about that directly link to presidential libraries or other information about the president. So it's a great place for the kids to get new information, in addition to the library and the other resources that they use for their research.
Well, this certainly is going to be a great tool for our teachers and for our students here in the school district. Now, we also have sites that are middle and high school, and for our time today, obviously we don't have time to go through everything, but they also have home pages that have been developed as well. Are there any other perhaps additions or other comments you would like to make on any of the upcoming projects that are underway or planned, or even perhaps the treasure hunt, which you've received several awards for?
Well, I'd like to ask people to stay tuned, I guess, to check back to the site, because we do have big plans of adding more information as we develop that information. And I know that as the other schools get into the research, that there will also be additional links. But one thing that we've used to train our teachers and to expose them to some of the better internet sites is our internet treasure hunt. Bring that up real quick. What the Internet Treasure Hunt does is it links teachers to good internet resources. It also teaches them a little bit about Netscape. Each week, for over a 5-week period, we had a new page put up. That page contained 10 questions, and if I scroll down the page here, there's information about the hunt, and there are 10 treasure chests. Each one of these treasure chests links to a different question, educational in nature, which sends a teacher to a valuable site, which they then can find an answer to the site. So number one, they're being exposed to the good site, which they can later use with their class, and they're also learning how to find that good site. We've received over 200 email messages from other schools that have participated along with us in this. We posted the information to the internet, and a lot of schools are at the same place that we are. They're looking for ways to train their teachers in the internet, and we have found this to be very successful for us.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for participating in our Technology Update presentation today. It's obvious that the internet and World Wide Web is going to play an ever-increasing role in the educational process here in the Indian Hill schools. Before we leave today, I'd like to remind you of our Open Lab and Cyber Studio initiatives. All Indian Hill School District community members may participate in these programs. Open Computer Lab is an opportunity for any student, parent, or other community resident to utilize the computer lab equipment and software. Now, this includes access to Pentium and/or 486 computers, printers, the Microsoft Office software package, and Internet World Wide Web access. The Indian Hill School Computer Lab is available 4 evenings a week from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m., except for school holidays and emergency closings. A lab supervisor will be available to offer assistance when needed. On Wednesday of each week, a technology facilitator or computer instructor will be available for more extensive help. The Cyber Studio course offerings for the second semester have been finalized. Please note the session dates on your screen and mark your calendars. Internet Basics will be held on February 3rd to the 6th in Lab 124. Word processing tips will be held on March 3rd through the 6th and will also be held in Lab 124. From April 7th to April 10th, we offer Internet Beyond the Basics in Lab 124 as well. Now, a new addition to the Cyber Studio course offering, Parents as Partners Library of the Future, will be offered in the high school library from April 14th to the 17th. Back in Lab 124, we will hold presentations with PowerPoint from May 5th through the 8th. And finally, another new addition, Parents as Partners Using Multimedia Tools. It will take place in the primary school lab from May 12th to the 15th. Many of these courses will focus on helping you get an initial start in using some computer software tools. Our two new course offerings are specifically designed to help parents become partners with their child's technology endeavors in school. Each class is a 90-minute session beginning at 7 p.m. and lasting until 8:30 p.m. and is conducted for a total of 4 times from Monday to Thursday during the scheduled week. But don't worry. If you've missed any of this information, this program will be repeated throughout the next week, and information will be distributed through all the current school publications. Now, due to the popularity of our courses, we ask that you please contact us at 272-4591 to sign up for a class. Press 2 for the Cyber Studio selection and leave your name, correct spelling of your name, address, phone number, course or courses requested, preferred date, and we will confirm your registration by letter. If you wish to speak with a technology facilitator or have questions, please include that in your message. Your call will be returned as promptly as possible. Well, that just about does it for the 3rd edition of the Indian Hill Schools Technology Update. Each month, a new technology-related topic will be presented on some current aspect of educational technology in the Indian Hill Exempted Village School District. The production schedule, now on your screen, should help you determine when to start watching. For exact presentation dates and times, call the ICRC at 772-4272. Now, this concludes our 3rd edition of the Indian Hill Schools Technology Update. Special thanks to all our staff and students on both sides of the camera for making this presentation possible. See you next time, and have a great day. We made it.
Computers. Over the year after that, we were able to get what is called a graphical connection, which is basically pictures and... There are 3 basic
Take her in the head and
components
shoulders.
Needed to get
That
started
thing is
with
going
the internet.
cuckoo
First
crazy
and
loco.
obvious is a computer. The type of computer, preferably a Pentium-based machine or a Power
Number 2
Macintosh
on
to work
the
in that
response to it.
platform. The second component that you need is a modem. Modems are rated by a number. That number indicates the amount
So,
of information that it can
Just not paying
process.
attention to them,
The
look
higher
at
the
'em,
number,
look at 'em.
the better the error. They're going to look at other ways to
Okay,
get
make
these
sure we do
modems,
that. When he's done
faster
talking about the
because
internet
phone
and doing
lines
the
are
discussion,
maxed
make
out.
sure you press A.
Warner
up here.
in some of their cities
Thank you.
have what are called cable modems, and these are 10 or 15 times
We're rolling on
faster
both decks.
than typical phone lines. Beyond the modem and the computer,
Camera
you
one, give me a
also
shot with
need
both of them in it,
internet
please.
service. How you
Camera
get
one, tilt
the
down some.
information
Hold.
to your computer. Phone line is just for the transport.
Ready one.
Very
Thought
similar.
we were
back
a
to
little
two.
bit more about
Over
the
to two.
internet. We're
Stand by to
offering
come back
2
to
internet
one on the two
courses
shot.
in the upcoming months.
Oh, man, I
Since
wish we
you'll
had
be
these
instructing
graphics.
those
We don't have the
courses,
graphics.
tell us a little bit about them.
Ready one.
Sure, I'd like to use
Ready over
the
to
internet
three.
to show you a little bit about these courses.
A little bit.
I mean, the software that
Okay.
allows you and your computer to
Ready
interact
one.
with the World Wide Web.
And take
One thing that I'd like to show you on the web
Ready
page.
back to two.
Camera
one. Pan left.
From
Change
April
it.
7th to April 10th, we offer Internet
Oh.
Beyond the Basics in Lab 124 as well. A new addition to the Cyber Studio course offering, Parents as Partners, the Library of the Future, will be offered in the high school
Okay, stand by to
library.
come out. Camera one, hold this shot. Camera one, after we come out to you, you're gonna have to change it.
Back in Lab 124, we will hold presentations with PowerPoint.
Stand by to wipe out the
from May
one
5th
on a
through
regular shot. Change
And
that, please.
finally, another new addition, Parents as Partners using multimedia tools. It will take place in the primary school lab from May 12th to the 15th.
And wiping out the one.
Many of these courses will
Change
focus on
page.
helping you get an initial start in using some computer software
Ready to
tools.
Luminous key,
Our
phone
2
number.
new course offerings
No,
are
no one.
specifically
I'll tell you when to
designed
pan.
help Parents become partners with their child's technology endeavors in school.
And ready
Each
to
class is a
luminous key
90-minute
number.
session, beginning at 7 p.m. and lasting until 8:30 p.m. And is conducted for a total of 4 times from Monday to Thursday
Right.
during the scheduled week.
Because
But
of
don't
the
worry,
popularity.
if you've missed any of this information, this
His
program
level's
will
high,
be
take him
reviewed
down.
throughout the next week, and information will be distributed through
Thank
all
you.
the current school publications. Due to the
And luminous key
popularity of
number,
our
luminous
courses,
key
we ask that
number.
you please contact us at 272-4591 to sign up for a class.
Okay, camera one, go
Press
ahead.
2 for the
Hold on
Cyber
a
Studio
second.
selection and
Or
leave your
lose
name,
phone number.
correct spelling of your name,
Losing phone
address, phone
Change it.
number, or please include that.
Hold.
Your call will be returned as promptly as possible.
Grab
Well,
this up.
that just about does it for the
Tilt down a little bit, one. We're alive. Ready to wipe
Each
in.
month, a new technology
Hold on.
topic will be presented on some current aspect
And wipe
of
it in.
educational technology in Indian Hill.
Boxes out, taking by, sit down now.
Production schedule, now
Stand by
on
to
your
come back to
screen,
one.
should help you determine when to start watching. For exact presentation dates and times, call the office.
Camera one, pan left. Get
at
center back up one,
772-4272.
center back up. Thank you. And back to
This
camera one.
concludes our first-
Take their mics out. And every 2 seconds, change it. Okay, I need a wide shot on one. Wide shot on one. Stand wide shot with camera 1 and 3. Wide shots, quickly. Count 2 seconds. Go. Thank you. One. Rivers over to one. Over to one. And ready, control room camera. Control room camera. Hey, everybody, wait. You're on the TV. Keep changing them. Keep going. You're crazy. Just crazy, you know that? Camera resolve back to 3. Well, we're gonna have to cut to 3. Oh, hold it. And just a second. Over to 3. Standby audio out. And we're gonna take video to black. Video to black. Change it. And audio out. And fade to black. Hey, guess what?
Good job, guys.
How much?
Good job.